Kal Alal, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who feed us in his truth with all diligence and with all honesty. Salutations to the hopeful elect and peace and blessings, to the men who are sincerely doing this work, men who are building the house of David, preparing for the coming of our Lord and spreading this truth. Right? Now, this movie, Black Panther, has taken the African American, so-called African American scene by storm, right? And it was released a few weeks back, but the craze is still on about it, and I just recently got a chance to watch it, and this morning I finished watching it, and my spirit was so vexed in me, to actually think that these people, we've been out here for years, decades. The apostles have been out here for decades. Here in Jamaica, we've been out on the streets for 8 years, more than 8 years, and telling people that, look here, you are the true Israelites, you are the biblical Israelites, you are the sons of the living God, you are actually gods yourselves, we are the princes of the power, we should be ruling the earth, and all these good things, all these glad tidings, yet our people have refused that. The majority of them have refused that, rather take on the Gentile mentality. But then this fictional Wakanda comes on the scene that a so-called cracker thinks up in the 1960s and is now put on screen as a movie, and people run with it, a fictional thing, something that's not real, right? And just because it paints the Negro race in a somewhat flattering light or in a somewhat powerful light, people run with it, Yet we have been telling people for years on end that they are much more powerful than any other race, right? That the Israelite man, right, is a god, but yet they have rejected that. But our people celebrate something that's a myth, Our people celebrate something that's fictional, right? It's total bullcrap. The level of attention, the level of celebration that this movie is getting, all because it so-called celebrates black culture, which it doesn't. It's just another example of the darkness that surrounded our people, It's just another example of the total pitch black darkness that has engulfed our people, right? Let's read a couple articles, and see some of the sentiment that people have out there. And I'm sure brothers have heard the sentiment, and I'm sure it has vexed the spirit of brothers, right? That our people have rejected their true nationality and have taken on a fictional nationality instead, right? Total madness and utter rubbish, Anyways, let's continue. So this is from Vox.com. It was published February 23rd. Black Panther is a gorgeous, groundbreaking celebration of black culture, right? And in a way that's true, because black culture is nothing but darkness and vanity and voidness, right? And black culture is another celebration of that emptiness, of that darkness, right? Which we as Hebrew Israelites are not a part of, right? The newest Marvel film is about more than a superhero's journey. It's about black culture's journey. What kind of bullshit is that, Right? Watching, I know that, first of all, if any Marvel fan that's watched the movie will honestly, objectively tell you that Black Panther is one of the least entertaining of all the Marvel films, especially in the Avenger universe. It's one of the least entertaining ones, because in terms of action, in terms of the acting, in terms of the storyline, how it's developed, right? It's one of the least entertaining ones in the Avenger universe, right? So the hype that has surrounded it, right, is only because of the social engineering aspect of it, the so-called blackness, right, that's around it. That's why this thing has gotten so much hype, It's one of the most. It's one of the most top-selling Marvel films of all time. I think it's at number 2. I checked it this morning. It's at number 2. The only one that has outsold it was Marvel's The Avengers. I think it's the original one that was released in 2012. Right, that was the only one that has outsold it. And this is still in theaters, so it might still overtake that, And the only reason is because of this fucking blackness, Marvel's Black Panther is a cultural phenomenon, a historic box office success that brought in rave reviews and sparked conversation all over social media and traditional media alike. There are no signs of the excitement abating either, as the conversation about the film has been evolved from discussions about the importance of representation to something grander, a rather groundbreaking celebration of black culture, right? With an all-star collection of majority black talent, both in front of and behind the camera, Black Panther under the direction of Ryan Coogler, right, is more than just the latest superhero's journey. It's also about black culture's journey, and it points towards a future where it could be the culture, right? It acknowledges and celebrates everything from traditional African society to African American political debates, from the power and beauty of black women to the preservation of identity, all within the lush confines of the fictional African nation of Wakanda, right? The fictional. And how is this a true preservation of identity when our people are identifying with a fictional nation, yo? How is this a true preservation of identity? This is further destroying the identity of our people, yo. This is further sucking them into the abyss of darkness of believing that they are black, and also believing that in this Wakanda bullshit, yo. Our people are just being dragged further and further into the abyss and enjoying it, yo. Right? All told, Black Panther's greatest legacy may not be what is done for Marvel Hollywood or box office record, but what is done for the culture. That's it right there. That's it right there. Right? Black Panther celebrates black culture on several fronts. Black Panther is in many ways a love letter to black culture. How? How is it a love letter to black culture? Even if you look at it from that perspective, the theme of the movie, the plot of the movie has nothing to do with colonialism, which people love to talk about. It's just one quote in there, or two, I think two quotes in there that you could use to say, okay, it can be reference to slavery, right? Or reference to injustice from the so-called white man. But why is that a celebration of black culture, yo? Why? Because in a fictional universe or in a fictional nation called Wakanda, the blacks are powerful and have technologies far beyond the rest of the world. Because of that, it's a celebration of black culture. Really? Africa has traditionally been an unsophisticated bit player in American media, often portrayed as backward, savage, and chaotic in everything from news coverage to films. It's a portrayal that has left little room for other interpretation, which is why Black Panther's vision of Wakanda as a bustling metropolis of vibranium-powered futuristic skyscrapers, racing trains, and soaring spaceships feels so refreshing. So because they created this fictional universe that paints Africa, which these people believe is their motherland, right? That paints Africa in a positive light. That's why it's a celebration of black culture. It's total madness, yo. Can't even continue this article. I'll post it in post-production for those who want to read it. All right, this is from Slate.com, February 22, 2018. Black Panther has turned Twitter and Instagram into an Afro-futuristic visual feast. Now, you've all seen the posts, on social media, Wakanda forever, and all this madness. I'm just going to, scroll through the article and show you some of them. Here's this one. I was taking a selfie and this man jumped in. So here they are wearing dashiki, Black Panther, Wakanda forever, right? And here's this clown, this coon, this Uncle Tom, promoting the whole madness. And this is one of the real reasons why people have upped and ran with this Black Panther, Wakanda forever, black culture bullshit. Because people who are viewed as celebrities in the black community have run with it. People like Will Smith. Listen to this, yo.
Michael, Lupita, Daniel, Forrest, Angela, Ryan, congratulations. Denai, what you have done is spectacular. I watched the film, a couple of days ago, and it damn near got brought to tears. You guys have challenged and potentially even shattered a lot of long-held false Hollywood beliefs and paradigms. I just want to say congratulations to you. I'm proud here giddy. Congrats, y'all. Go get it. We're gonna keep it right there. We're gonna keep it right there. Hey.
Madness, yo. Madness. He's proud of them. He was brought to tears. They have challenged and what some ideas about Hollywood and all that bullshit. Why? How? See, it's changed nothing about the state in which our people is, yo, except to drag them further into the abyss of darkness, which is black culture, yo. That's all it's done. That's all this movie has done. And then in a few months' time, it will all be blown over, yo. Social media will have forgotten about it. It will be on to the next big thing, and that's what people will be following, yo. Just like that, it will be forgotten, yo. The next Avengers film coming out is Infinity Wars this summer, and when that comes out, that's going to be the talk of the town, yo. This all will be forgotten, right? This all will be forgotten. These people are, hey. Next one, this bitch dressed up in African garb, Wakanda forever, Black Panther, right? Disney Princess Shuri with Princess Tiana, right? Black Panther fan art. What does Black Panther mean to you? Black Panther movie, Afrofuturism, Black excellence. Welcome to Wakanda, Black History Month. You know, and the list goes on, right? So let's see what the Moses says about you people. All right, this is Hosea 8. Matter of fact, let me start at Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit. Let me read it again. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory to that which does not profit. Our people have cast off their birthright of being true gods. Right? So the scripture says, I have said you are gods and all you are children of the Most High. is Jeremiah chapter 2. Let me start at verse 27. It says, saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone thou hast brought me forth. They have turned their back and unto me and not their face, but in the time of trouble they will say, arise and save us. Right? You people have gone to something that's dead, a fairy tale, and said, this is my father, me a Wakandan, instead of saying, you are the son of the living power. But the scripture says what? In the time of your trouble, they will say, arise and save us. You see me? Right? The vintage shall fail, gathering shall not come. All these things shall come to pass, and you people are going to do what? We're going to call upon the Lord. We're going to try to find the men whether they're out there in the highways and the byways telling you the truth. Verse 28, but where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Right? Where is Wakanda at that time when the Lord brings forth his destruction, or when the so-called white man will see like a flood? Where is Wakanda forever in that day? Right? Will Will Smith and his videos save you? See him? Will Black Panther save you? Will being a Wakandan save you?